So do you ever just go on Google Earth or Google Maps and kind of just drag around and look at stuff? Because it is definitely one of my favorite pastimes. Especially if I'm like on a call with somebody and I'm just kind of hanging out and I want something to do that's a little aimless or that I don't have to focus on very much. This is definitely one of the best ways to fill that time for me. I remember being so amazed when Google Earth first came out, however long ago it was. But I thought it was so cool that you could see pictures from the sky of anywhere on the planet. I thought that was so amazing. And especially because, the first thing you do when you hear something like that is you're like, well, do they have my house? So of course I looked that up, and yes, they had my house. They had the whole Earth. So that was really kind of cool to see. And it's only gotten better since then. Like now they've got these crazy 3D scans and everything, which is just incredible to see. And it's also just a really fascinating tool to play around with because you can really just go anywhere. You can see anywhere in the world. And if there's any place where you're kind of like, you know what, I've never thought about this place before, I wonder what it's like, you can kind of just go and look at it, which is so cool to me, which is why I spend a lot of time on it. But I would say, given the nature of some of the things that we've done together already, there is one clear place for us to start at, and that is certainly going to be Japan. So I'm going to navigate us there shortly. And, I guess the place to start with Japan is Tokyo, right? We can go and take a look at the city, which is just massive. Just look at the sheer amount of space that's covered by city here. It's honestly just incredible. I find myself kind of shocked every time I look at it. And I guess Tokyo itself is kind of just this part here, but this whole area is like it's just one continuous, patch of city, even though it's not technically one city politically, I guess, but it's still amazing to me. So let's take a look at a little bit closer here. I want to see if I can find Tokyo Tower, which is going to be hard from up here, but I think one way to make it easier would be to do this. Yes. Which, and now I see it immediately. It kind of stands out. It's a bright and red, tall building. And it looks great. It's really cool to see in 3D like this. And I think I can rotate around it a little bit. Yeah. Ta-da. It's kind of interesting because there's I think there's a high school around here. It'd be crazy to imagine living in a high school. I'm sorry, going to a high school right near Tokyo Tower. That'd be such an interesting way to live. But let's see, I wonder if there's some cool places to see right next to it in Street View. Yeah, look at that. You just look straight up at it. It's so huge from here. Some nice trees and buildings and stuff. Nice little steps. Very cool. Yeah, let's back out here. Let's see, I wonder if there's anything. I'm sure there's a couple more interesting things for us to see in Tokyo. There's a little park here. It's quite nice. Flowers, all these little lakes to look at. All kinds of stuff here. It's very neat. Let's see. There's a track here. It's kind of neat. These little islands here are pretty cool. I wonder if these were, somewhat naturally here, or if they're entirely man-made. also just this whole bay with a ton of other islands like this, it looks like. And yeah, of course, the airport here. Yeah, but there's just a ton of stuff around here. And it's just like, look how dense it is. It's so interesting. Let's take a look at like 3D view around here. I'm kind of interested to see. Yeah, not a ton of tall buildings exactly, but you know, just a lot of buildings in general. I guess all of the taller buildings are kind of in this area. Yeah, wow, look, they've got a ton of tall buildings on these little islands here. That's so interesting. There's Tokyo Tower again. But yeah, like I was saying, usually when I like to do this, I tend to look at places that are a bit more unique. Not that Tokyo's not unique, it's just that, you know, it's one of the biggest cities in the world, you know. I feel like a lot of people know what it looks like. So one place I really want to go to sometime is Okinawa down here. This is like, you can see it's like far more south than the rest of Japan here. Okinawa's here. But so it's like very sunny and tropical, and it's a popular vacation destination for Japanese people because of those reasons. But it looks so cool. I mean, look at, it's so urban and dense on the southern half of the island here, and yet you kind of go north a bit and there's so much nature. It's really not a small island, even though it kind of looks like it. But you know, they've just fit this whole giant city down here, which I think is really cool. But yeah, let's take a look. Let's see if there's anything interesting we can find. One thing I find interesting is that there's this golf course here. I feel like you don't see a ton of golf courses in Japan. They just don't have a lot of land for it, I think. And like, most of the flat land is used for cities, and then a lot of the rest of the land is like very mountainous, which, you know, I'm not a golfer, but I don't think is very good for golf. I'm not super sure, but I can imagine it'd be kind of hard to golf if it's like very mountainy and hilly. But let me see, let me do 3D view here. I think I can just click this instead of, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not like there's a ton of really tall buildings or anything. It's just that there's a lot of smaller buildings. I wonder if we can find an area that has a lot of tall buildings, though. I'm not sure where it would be. Okinawa World, what's this? It's a theme park. Wow, look at this cave. That is so neat. What the heck? That's a theme park? This looks more like just a cave. Dude, yeah, I want to go there. What is this, the same place? I can't read that too much. I don't know any of those. Looks like it's mostly this cave. It's very blue water. It's probably lit by some light, though. I don't think the water's actually that blue. But yeah, some interesting stuff. Oops. I kind of want to take a closer look at what's going on there. I'll get out of 3D mode here. Yeah, I guess it's kind of a normal looking theme park. I wonder where the cave entrance is. Kingdom History Museum, Pottery Studio. Huh. It's like a residence here. I wonder if that's like a historical thing or if somebody actually still lives there, or both. I suppose there's no reason why it couldn't be both. Okay. But yeah, thinking about golf courses, that kind of reminds me of this place I was looking at a while ago that I was shocked to see the amount of golf courses. And it's a place where I really didn't expect to see quite so many, but I think I remember reading an article, and after looking at this, I think it said that there's like the most golf courses in the world or something in this city, which is Melbourne, Australia. But yeah, I mean, just look at all these. There's so many. There's one here, 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 here. Like, you do not need this many golf courses in such a small area. I really have no idea why there are so many here. I guess the simple answer would be that golf's really popular, but I can't imagine it's this popular, right? I wonder if it's really cheap to go golfing around here for all the competition that all the golf courses have. I can't imagine that you can charge, crazy prices if you're literally right next door to another golf course. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just wasn't expecting to see quite so many golf courses in Australia, of all places. I mean, when you look at Australia, it's, most of the continent's a desert, but there's lots of land that's very green, like not comparatively, right? Like, you look at it and it's like, oh, it's mostly desert with like these little tiny green patches, but like, it's a whole continent, and like these green patches are massive, So I guess there's no reason why there wouldn't be golf courses and stuff there. But yeah, the city's not small either. Yet we have more golf courses. Even up in kind of the more central area, which I think is what this is. I couldn't quite tell you, the exact layout of an Australian city here. But let's look at 3D view here. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, those are some nice skyscrapers. I don't know why I didn't expect there to be a decent amount of skyscrapers, but there is. I guess just because the city is so sprawling, I wouldn't expect for, the central area to have a ton of really dense buildings, but here they are. I would expect the density to be kind of spread out, but I guess it's all here. It probably has something to do with zoning laws or something. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see if other cities in Australia also have a similar number of golf courses. So I want to check out Adelaide, which I know is another somewhat big city. Yeah, it looks pretty sprawling. It's interesting the way that the city borders here kind of like fade out into the more green areas. Let's look at the city center here. And immediately, I think I see a golf course right over here. I think it kind of goes around like this. Is that a golf course? I kind of want to take a little bit of a closer look here. I don't know, it kind of looks like one, but it kind of just says it's a park. And if you're playing golf, I can't imagine where the holes are. Not the holes, but each individual course for a hole. Like, these all seem pretty straight, so I don't know if that's a golf course. I'm sure you could maybe use it like one if you really tried, but it might just be some nice park, which is very nice too. But this layout here is really interesting. It's like they've got this city center, and then it's like surrounded by all these parks, which is really interesting. I don't think I've seen that in a city before. It's like such a weird little buffer. I'm not sure. I wonder if this is like planned or something. I can't imagine like a city organically growing like this. It must have been like some kind of a plan to put this in here from the start. But I want to see if there's some golf courses. Yeah, there's some here, there's one over here. Yeah, there's a good couple. I think I'm obsessed with golf courses because it's just such an easy thing to find from a satellite view. And it just takes up so much space in a city. Like, if we look at this one, look at how much space this golf course takes up compared to like how much space all these houses take up. Like, in this golf course, you could fit I don't know, that's how many thousands of people? Maybe like 1,000, but you know, that's kind of a lot for a golf course, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much land here that's being used when you look at it side by side compared to, you know, like a housing development. So I don't know. Especially, I'm sure the amount of water it uses is kind of crazy too, but I mean, not that it's a huge deal considering there's water literally right next to it. I'm sure it's not super crazy, but yeah, I don't know. So I guess the conclusion is that yes, there are other cities in Australia that have a decent number of golf courses. Imagine if you're a golf fan in Australia, you're definitely not, you're not hurting too bad. You've got a nice golf course within a few miles from your place. I don't think this is a golf course, I think this is just a park. But now I kind of want to look at a place that's like maybe a little bit unseen. I want to see a place that I kind of haven't seen before. You know, I never really looked at, let's see, kind of this area. I haven't really looked very close at Thailand. I want to see like a major Thai city. I feel like that'd be interesting. Let's look at Bangkok. I bet they probably don't have too many golf courses. I imagine golf isn't super popular in Asia. Let's see. We've got this river that kind of goes around like this. There's a lot of farmland in the middle of the city, which is kind of interesting. There's a water park here. It's a university. I wonder if the university is interesting to look at. Let's see. Nope. It's that kind of normal looking building. Got a basketball court though. It's nice. Let's see. I wonder if they have many like skyscrapers or anything. Let's see, what's this museum? Anything interesting here? It's kind of a neat looking building. Cool elephant statue. Oh, very pink. Wow, this architecture is very cool. Oh my god. What the heck? This is so neat. Wow. Okay, if I'm going to Thailand, I'm definitely going here. Wow. That is so colorful. Wow. Dude, this place rocks. I'm definitely going here if I go to Thailand. This is the Erawan Museum. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but known for its giant three-headed elephant art display. Interesting. Yeah, it's just kind of hanging out right here. Also, these roads are kind of interesting. There's a lot of traffic going on here, it looks like. Let's see. What's this thing? Just a housing development? Kind of looked interesting from above. Yeah, this is kind of an interesting city because it seems like there's a decent amount of like nature or farmland or trees and stuff kind of mixed in. Like it's not all city. It feels like there's very much like a decent amount of agriculture or just nature or parks and stuff going on as well. I think if we were to see skyscrapers and dense stuff, it would probably be here. So let's see. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's really a ton of it. Oh, it's also because this doesn't really have a 3D view. Okay, yeah, I don't think that's super helpful. Huh, interesting. Yeah, lots of this big river here. Is this the airport? Or is this? Oh, this is a government office. Okay. Looks like they got a couple of rivers here. Yeah, this place is pretty sprawling though. I mean, obviously not as much as Tokyo, but you can't really compare everything to Tokyo. That's not really fair. I think the most interesting part to me is this like central part here, where it's like this, I don't know what you call that. Isn't that an oxbow? Something like that? Or is that when the river reconnects? But this part here, where it's got like some farmland and stuff, I think that's the most interesting to me. I don't know if there's too many other cities that have that. Is this even farmland, or is it? No, it's not. Oh, it's just like a very nature-y part of the city that has like lots of greenery in it. Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, do they have a bridge to get on here? Where is it? I guess it's over here. Is this the only bridge to get in this part of the city? Wow. I didn't see another one. Unless I missed it. Wow, yeah, imagine living here and this is the only bridge you have. Oh, that wouldn't be that much fun. But this place looks like a nice place to live. Lots of greenery, like I was saying. I mean, I confused it for farmland at first. Lots of waterfront property. What's this? Are these like little houses? Yeah, I think so. Very neat. Okay. But if we want to see some really urban development, there's one place that is good to look at. Some very dense place is Hong Kong, and I find it very interesting to look at because it's just so many tall buildings, just constantly. Like, look at this. Just the whole place is like as dense as possible. It's just nuts. Like, look how tall these are. And I think these are just like housing too. Like, I don't think this is like some office buildings or anything. I could be totally wrong, but. Or the other thing that's crazy is like they build on these like mountains and stuff. Like, I don't think there's too many other cities where they feel the need to build on top of the like hills and stuff around the city. You know, if there are hills around the city, but yeah, I guess in Hong Kong it's like, you know, it's worth it because you've got only so much land to work with and only so much flat land at that. That, yeah, if you want to build a bunch of skyscrapers, you gotta put them somewhere. But yeah, it's just such a striking area that's just so full of extremely dense and tall buildings. It's really cool to me. And then yeah, it just kind of keeps going this way, and over here, and over here, and over here, and over here, and not over here. But yeah, it's so much. And then, like, even if you compare it to, so like this is Hong Kong, right? And we can see if I can get the zoom level right, yeah. We can see the political border here. And so then if we just go over to like Shenzhen, which is just right here, this is a golf course. That is a golf course, I'm pretty sure. Well, they've got a golf course, that's for one thing. I don't think there was a golf course in Hong Kong, although I could be wrong. But yeah, if we go here and do this, then like it's not nearly as many tall buildings and stuff. Although that may be because I'm not sure China lets you do the 3D scanning thing. I would believe that. So I guess I could be wrong. There's probably some like nice dense tall buildings in here. It's just you can't really see them, unfortunately. So that's unfortunate, but oh yeah, looking at this, yeah, you can easily tell, yeah, there's lots of tall buildings here. So yeah, I guess even right next to Hong Kong, in a place like Shenzhen, they've got lots of tall buildings, lots of skyscrapers and stuff, which is also very cool. You just can't see them on Google Maps, which is kind of sucky, but it's how it goes sometimes. Is this another golf course, or is this the same one, or is this just a park? It's hard to tell. I mean, it looks an awful lot like a golf course. Like, see, these are like sand traps, right? But these labels are confusing. You can't imagine these are right. I also know that China will like squash and stretch parts of the map and like satellite imagery so you don't have like an exact map of what's going on. I think I heard about that from like a YouTube video or something. I'm not quite sure about it or exactly how it works, but yeah, anytime you look at a map of like China, apparently the roads and stuff are like slightly off. See, look at that. Like, see, this road is clearly meant to be up here, but it's like off down here instead. That's because they manipulate the pictures or like the road maps to be slightly off, so that I'm not entirely sure what the reason is. It can't be like security, right? Because like you still have this picture and you still have the road map, but I don't know, maybe it's so that you're more incentivized to use like the official China Earth app, you know, whatever they got going on. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, so a little bit of China map trivia for you there. And I think with that, we've taken a good look around a couple different places, mostly in Asia. We looked at Australia too, which I guess is kind of Australia. It's like Oceania, I guess. I'm not quite sure. But, you know, this part of the world, I guess. But this was fun. This was a good time to record. I really like doing these videos. I mean, as I'm sure as you can tell, I can kind of sit here and look at various places on Google Earth and say random stuff about it for forever. So, yeah, let me know if you like this one. I'd be happy to make more of these. Maybe at different parts of the world, looking at different random things. I kind of just like looking at stuff I haven't seen before, so yeah, it would be fun to make more of these, so let me know. But that is all to say that for now I'm saying good night.